You can see by Deacon Polo left us some time ago. That pretty little short lady that was up here that you could barely see over the stand, that's his bride, Elder Getha. Yeah. I'd like to tell you a couple of things. You may be seated about Deacon Polo. Deacon Polo had that, of course we can, spirit. And so he and Pastor were joined at the hip on a lot of things. Elder Peter would still be trying, I think I see it, Pastor, I think I see it. But Deacon Polo would say, of course we can. I don't know what, it didn't matter what you needed to fix or do. He just had that wonderful, and he would get after it. He'd get to work. Of course we can. We can make it happen. But what we loved about him most, this picture says it all. He was a worshiper. He was a worshiper. And he loved this house. He loved the unity and the love in this house. But he expected us to get it right and make it authentic. I'd like to tell you a couple of quick stories about Deacon Polo. When we were trying to all figure out how Pastor going to build a ranch, one Sunday Deacon Polo came in and asked us to open up those double doors right over there. And Deacon Polo was out there on a horse. I need y'all to see that we can do this. Of course we can. And he gave us our first horse and our longhorn so that we could get the vision. The other thing that he did was he wanted everything to be authentic, and I appreciate his bride and Mom Mary Rosh because they picked up on his spirit. We had some mariachis, not the ones that were here today, came one time. And when they came, they had the notes, cards taped to their instruments with the words of the song, and Deacon Polo said that will never fly. So he says if we can't get them, we're going to learn how to do it ourselves. So he would take a group of people out in the gazebo on Sunday afternoon. Didn't matter how hot it was, but he had them practicing and practicing and practicing. And when they finally said, Deacon Polo, we don't know that this is our lane. So they finally let him out of the gazebo. But he wanted it to be authentic. And we're going to do it right, or we're not going to do it all. And he left us that legacy. Of course we can. And we're going to do it right. That's why we're raising these babies up from here and 3 generations to dance and to do, because we want them to know their history matters. And in this church, the unity and the love and the sharing of each other's cultures lends itself toward understanding. We get it in here, and Pastor intends for us to take it back out there. There's a dying world out there, and they need some of what we learn in here, what we have in here. Deacon Polo, our worshiper, if you're looking down, we're still trying to get it right. And every time co-pastor or pastor asks us to do something, might not see it right then, but we'll look at her and we'll say, of course we can.
Good morning, good morning.
And you all saw the picture of Deacon Polo.
Yes.
And the reason we're having Mexican Day is because when we first started, our history matters. We were bombarded from the outside. We got nasty phone calls telling Pastor, you should not celebrate Mexican Day. And Pastor, they said, we want to name it Hispanic Day or Latino Day. And Deacon Polo came to our pastor with tears in his eyes. And he said, Pastor, I am with you. We can do this. See, this is what you need to know. He said, Pastor, I'm a proud Mexican from Mexico. He said, everybody can be what they want to be. But if God told you to call it Mexican Day, Pastor, we're going to call it Mexican Day forever. Deacon Polo, we're still calling it Mexican Day. Because that's what he told Pastor. And he says, Pastor, I am with you all the way. So let's put our hands together and give our Deacon Polo, who's watching from heaven today, a great big hand clap. And we're still getting it right.
Amen. Shout out to Deacon Polo. Shout out to Zaragoza, Mexico, which is where he's from. How do I know? Because I had to go. Deacon Polo challenged me. He said, I see you doing all this folklorico dancing and stuff. You better come to Zaragoza. And so he passed before I was able to go. But I told Alex, I said, Alex, you got to take me. I got to go and go to his grave. So I did and went and put flowers in Zaragoza on Deacon Polo's grave. So we love you, Deacon Polo.
Yes.
And Viva Mexico.
Viva Mexico.
Well, what a great service.
What a great
service. Have you?
Today, and when you all started talking about polo, I got all choked up, you know, and Deacon Polo and I, you know, had a very great relationship, and his home going, we went down to Mexico and had